This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Speaking of dying mediums like television, did you see that the NFL Network and the NFL now, obviously, it's all the same thing. Dude, they're gonna have now their own platform for phones and iPads and all that, because we live here, bro. Here's where we live. And I thought, it's like it's about time, obviously, for the NFL, but it's so smart because it's like what I just was talking about now. You have to strengthen your platforms now because that's where people are going. They want specialized programming. They want their NFL Network. They want their NFL. They want their NBA. Now Fox Sports Florida, they've had this whole thing, this battle with the cable companies, the satellite companies, even YouTube TV that I have. So now what are they doing? On their own platform now. It's coming out. The app is going to come out. So us Marlins, Heat, and Panther fans can now go to Fox Sports Florida, buy their platform, and now we get our games constantly. We don't have to worry and fight and all of that. That's where we're going, man. You know what I mean? And I just read that story for the KSDT Sports Business Report, last week about the NFL creating their own viewing platform now. I don't know if you saw that, but that's actually a really cool idea on their part.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while, actually. When I started at NFL Network, they were talking about doing that. And it's a great idea because, we've all kind of said, everybody's moving to their phone as mediums. Like even myself, I work for a company that's on cable and I watch most of my television on streaming apps. And it's just the way the new medium is. So I think you're either going to get in the times or you're going to get left behind. And right. So I'd love for TV to be blooming for 75 years. But the reality of it is that more people are using their social medias and their apps to be able to get this content. And so I think it's going to be dope. I think it's going to be a way to be able to bridge a gap. One thing I told my bosses that's very interesting is that, like, although I know some people watch NFL Network, I'd imagine that most of the Dolphins fans who follow me see my content when I put it on Twitter more than they saw it live on TV on NFL Network. So I'm not naive to believe that people are just going to be sitting around all day watching NFL Network on TV. And so our bosses shouldn't either. So if you want them to be able to get the content, you got to bring it to them. You got to bring it right to them and their device and make it interesting enough that they want to download your app and ideally go to you before another company to be able to get their content. So I'm pumped about it. I think we're going to do some really creative stuff with it. And I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah, no, I know. And you're going to be able to give us more, exclusive content, stuff that we're not, and you get to elaborate a lot more when you're on your own platform. You get to, and from what I'm understanding, you guys are going to be able to like add stuff from all different cities too at the same time. Some of their what's it called, programming that they're using for the different teams. I'm sure when they're in the headlines for something, a big signing, a big trade, or whatever, NFL Network will have their stuff, and then they'll go, hey, let's go to the Bengals who just traded for whatever, and yada yada yada, boom, and then there'll be some exclusive interview that the Bengals had, and you guys will be able to share it on your platform.
You'll see some sort of specialized team coverage. So where if you're a Dolphins fan, you could put in the app, hey, I want Dolphins content, and anything Dolphins related will probably be the first thing that pops up on your feed. And so it'll be personalized in that way. And so we'll have obviously the national news. So whatever the big story of the day, Lamar Jackson size and extension, this player gets hurt, whatever it is. And then you'll also see your Dolphin-centric stuff. Tua had a great day at practice. Here's the breakdown report from Cam Wolfe here in Miami. Go down to, LA, see what the Rams are doing. This is their report from Matthew Stafford or Aaron Donald or whatever. So it's a way for you to be able to pop in and out and get it immediately. So you can get your minute here, your minute there, your 5 minutes, and then you can leave instead of waiting around for a 3-hour show to see exactly what's going on. So I think it'll be more efficient and viewer friendly overall. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. I think that's a really cool thing. That's been two of my favorite stories over the last week on our KSDT Sports Business Report was that. And then the other one, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see what FIBA basketball is doing?
I did not.
LED flexible glass
Okay.
floors.
Really?
So from the entire floor is an LED glass floor that has flexibility to it. So it shocks and all that for the bones and everything, just like a regular court and all. It has a little give, in other words. But the whole floor is an LED screen. So imagine the advertising, replays, entertainment. When you're at halftime, it'll help with the halftime show, pregame, whatever, introductions, just as sponsorships, obviously. All of these things, stats. Player could be like at the free throw line and you're in the second level and boom, you're going to be able to see the player stats right in the middle of the floor behind him, because they probably won't put it in front of him, but it'll probably be in the middle, like, hey, you know, this player has 37 points. He's 11 of 11 at the free throw line, whatever, you know, crap like that. Yeah, highlights, all that kind of stuff.
That's dope.
So I know, isn't it? And FIBA's doing it for all of their elite tournaments and things like that, because it's kind of an introductory. I'm sure it's going to be expensive to put it, but I can see the NBA, dude.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Steal that, bro.
All these leagues are copycat leagues, so you know the next thing that I think is going to happen, like you're talking
about,
that's
revenue, bro. That's a revenue stream, right there.
Exactly. So I've been talking about this for a little bit. Obviously, that'll be dope. But one element that I think is very soon to be coming is you're going to have sports book setups inside your seat in a stadium, to where you can do live betting on a particular play. You could say, hey, I'll bet minus 250 or plus 250 that they'll score a touchdown on this drive. And you could literally your whole game betting drive by drive, whatever is going to happen,
quarter by quarter.
I think that's in the not so distant future. Maybe they go kiosk first. Maybe there's a kiosk set up, and then eventually I think it's going to be individual seats, you know, and you have it there. So there's so much more money revenue there, and it brings in a new element of fans who may not care overall about who's going to win the game, but they care about trying to make money betting, you know, drive by drive, play by play. You know,
I'll tell you what's next. You're going to make LED on the floor. Well, then you got to make the basket LED.
Yeah.
So that way, when there's a nasty slam, the basket explodes.
Right.
It could shatter like on the LED.
Little Space Jam, Nickelodeon cartoon broadcast.
Exactly. And we're living in a game in a gaming world, right? In the metaverse and all that kind of shit. So young people, all of a sudden now you're making it more like a video game. So you're able, when you walk in, like, holy shit, the floors, you know, got all kinds of colors and dynamics. And now the backboards are exploding and they got messages and all that. And again, it'll be another revenue stream. You know what I mean? So it'll be the KSDT slam dunk. Bam, you know, and right after the guy slams, the replay plays right on the backboard again, you know, that kind of stuff.
No, I like it.
Yeah. No, and think about this. You have an LED floor, and it'll get to a point where it's so cheap that you're at the university, which, you know, Alabama and Michigan and Miami, all these places are going to be able to afford it. So now the basketball team walks off the court. Now you reprogram and it all gets redone for volleyball.
Yeah.
You don't have to restripe it. You don't have to have multiple stripes anymore on the floor. No. It's a blank canvas. Boom, redone. Oh, you want tennis? Boom. Whatever it is, you know, that kind of stuff. So there's so much that they can do with that. I think that's going to be really, really cool. Actually.
Yeah, I think like you're going to see everything evolve. Like I said, you're either going to get with the times or get behind. So I think sports and the viewing experience 3 years from now is going to be completely different than what it is now. And I think that's good for us as fans, as we sort of get into this hyperactive phase where we need to have everything and you know, technology sound, have everything kind of brought to us, whether it be the stats, whether it be the gambling odds, whether it be everything that kind of makes us enjoy sports, fantasy football elements. There's going to be, you know, segments here where, hey, these are your leading fantasy football scorers of the day. And, you know, you can probably program, I bet you'll be able to do certain things where you can program your fantasy football team in and on your TV and be able to get an updated app, you know, pretty minute by minute of what your stats are doing while you're watching the game. So if you're watching at home, maybe you're watching Red Zone, you can pull up the tab on the side, so you don't even have to pull it out on your phone. You can do it all there.
Exactly.
So I can see all of this. The LED spotlight makes the viewing experience better for the fans who are there to be able to see it and pop things up. You know, maybe there's a little TV screen in front of them that gives them a little bit more in depth if they want to go into it and find different elements of it. So we're gonna get to the point where it may be too much, but I enjoy that we're continuing to modernize our viewing experience as fans, because I think that keeps the sport energetic and vibrant and overall just positive. And so I'm with it, and I don't think that anybody would disagree.
They have no choice. They have no choice, bro. They have no choice. That's why Stephen Ross and obviously Garfinkel, who's a freaking monster, he's the Kraken of all this.
Yep.
He has made that damn stadium like, your home experience.
Right.
And they have to do that. They have no choice. Look at what we do on this platform. We give you hardcore insiders all week long. So if you're a Heat, a Dolphins, a Canes fan, Marlins fan, you're going to get your segments every week and whatever rants or whatever. And they're all individually cut up so you can get it a la carte, and very few commercials here because the commercials are right around us the entire time. It's kind of like soccer. We just give you the content.
Yeah. And even on television. Even on television, you're seeing it now, but they have like the commercials inside the broadcast where you'll have a smaller screen or a half screen for 30 seconds where you can still see the broadcast, but you're just giving them the commercial while the game's going on. I think soon there will get rid of the full 3-minute commercial breaks for most sport broadcasts. It'll be inside.
Why do you think we don't do it here, bro?
Right,
we don't do it. We break like 4 or 5 minutes in an hour.
Yep.
We talk here 53, 56 minutes average in an hour. Who does that?
Right.
Nobody, because people don't have time to sit around for commercials, man.
No.
They hear an 8-minute segment on radio, and then there's an 8-minute commercial break after that. It's just like,
they're gonna switch to another channel.
Exactly. It's tiresome. Listen, yesterday I went to see Top Gun Maverick. It's like this in every phase of our world. You have the IMAX, you have the HD 4K, and then there's that other one, the whatever it's called. There's 3 different types of screens apart from your regular movie screen. You know what I mean? And that's kind of because they know that the home experience has gotten so much better that's what they're competing with. Right. Just like sports, they're competing with our own home experiences that are so good. They've got to improve it to a certain level. You know what I mean? And that's
an excellent point.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. By the way, let me get to some Dolphins since it is a Dolphins segment here. There's no Dolphin news to really talk about right now or anything.
No, they're gonna have mandatory mini camp on Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow and Thursday, and so we'll be out there. You'll see some tweets. You'll see some reports. Again, like I say every year, it's just May and June, so don't overreact by anything. But as far as news, nothing significant. I imagine you're going to see all your veterans there, and
Friday we'll talk about what you saw in those days.
Exactly.
But are you entertained by this? Okay, because this is the funny part. I was going to talk about this on my show later on, but I wanted to bring it up to you. The entire offseason has become like this courtroom drama, right? Mm-hmm. And you have the defense and you have the prosecution.
Right.
And all it is half the group of the fans and media that are making cases for why they believe the Dolphins will be good and why Tua will succeed, which of course that's the defense. And then the prosecution is the other half of the fans and the media that don't believe in Tua no matter what. And both sides are just, they're reaching for stats for this and stats for that. And this to back up their point and that.
Welcome to the off season, Big O. We have to create content. That's why it's so funny. Like something last week, like the Tyreek Hill comments that blew up, right? When he's talking about Tua and talking about his arm strength. I tweeted some of that stuff out. It blew up. I did a segment on it that blew up on NFL Network, and everybody has a view. And whether it's Tua, whether it's the Dolphins, there's always some sort of indictment. Like I even joked last week, we were talking about Teddy Bridgewater and how he didn't have a great practice, right? And so somebody tweeted about Teddy Bridgewater struggling, and I literally see in the comments, well, Tua would have struggled worse. I'm like,
right.
Dude, wasn't even at practice. Why is everything is such a it's
That's
so
all it
everybody
is.
has to have a take, and everybody wants to be hardline on that. And if you're not on their view, they're going to try to convince you why. They're going to tell you why you're wrong. And it's May and June. And so I want to see the real thing. Takes do not excite. I know it gets us through content-wise, but I am not a big take guy. And maybe it's for better or for worse. Maybe I don't get as many clicks or don't get as much because of that. But for me, it does not excite me to go on TV talking about, oh, well, Tua is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, can't throw the deep ball. Or on the other end of it, Tua is the godsend. You know, he's a top 5 quarterback. Like none of these things, I don't believe in either one of them. So why would I go full in on giving a take just for the overall atmosphere of it? So I think that's what we get a lot of the times. From social media, from even our analysts on TV, and it just drives conversation. High, one end on the spectrum, another end of the spectrum, low like this, and they just converge. So I think it's funny, but for me, I have very little interest in engaging in much of this.
Yeah, I'm entertained as hell by it all, but I can't wait for the season, man. I really can't. I'm really excited. I'm actually excited for Tua because all the things that I thought he needed, I think they got it for him. So now,
and the reality is the reality. He does have what he needs to succeed. So if he does not succeed, it's an indictment on him and not the coaching staff. And I think he knows that. That doesn't need to be put up on a billboard. Oh, Tua, you got it. I think he knows that. So the reality is we're going to see this year.
Yeah, I just think he's wired differently than what people think. I don't think he looks at it as pressure. I think he looks at it as, thank God, now I can go do my job.
Right.
Because
that's what you want from a franchise quarterback. If he's that guy,
those kind of dudes
you
are
want him
wired
to embrace it and not run from it. Yeah.
Right. Those kind of dudes are wired like, I'm not the problem, dude. I know what the hell I'm doing. I just need the right people around me, and then I'll get it done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to say that reminds me a little bit of something in Top Gun Maverick. Actually, I don't want to give anything away, but
was it a good watch?
Oh, it was a great watch.
I gotta watch it. See, my wife does not really enjoy those type movies, so I gotta figure out.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did she see the original Top Gun?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you cannot watch this without watching the original Top Gun.
Okay, so you'll be confused.
You cannot watch this movie without watching the original. The original, by the way, you have to tell her, because some people think that The Sopranos is a mob show.
Yeah.
And it has the mob, but it's really not a mob show.
Yeah.
It's really a soap opera going on inside of the mob. Technically, and all the things personally, and then the demons and everything that they deal with, and all the things that the main character goes through running a mob, his family, all that, things that we would never think of. What? Because all you think of in mob, you think of Goodfellas, and you think of The Godfather, and that's what you think, old world Italian, this, that. This was completely different. If you watch Sopranos, it was way more. If you watch Sons of Anarchy, yeah, sure, it's a bike gang, but there was so much more.
Great show, by the way. Sons of Anarchy, excellent show.
Right, but if somebody tells you, oh, dude, that's just a bunch of bikers. Well, no, dude, yeah, I know there's bikers, but there was a whole bunch of other stories. Top Gun's the same way.
Gotcha.
It's not a war movie about planes and all. There's a love affair. There's drama. There's death. There's all kinds of things that tug at your emotions. You know what I mean?
Right.
A movie that women love.
Okay.
Just to tell you. Okay.
I may spend some time and try to get her to watch the original and take her to go see the other one. So
right, because one, she's gonna love the volleyball scene from the original. Right. And then she'll love the updated scene from the new one, you know what I mean? Because the women will love that too. But I'm just telling you, she's going to love the movie. She's going to go, wow, how come I never saw Top Gun? That's a movie that translates all generations. maybe some of the funny. What was the funny movie? Fast Times at Richmond High, right? That did not hold up for you.
Yeah.
Top Gun holds up as a ultimate love story, tragedy, all kinds of adversity and overcoming, lessons learned, all that kind of stuff. And then the Maverick, it ties a lot of that stuff together, so you have to watch it, bro. It's really good. It's really good. I'm just saying, I'm 55 now, so as I've gotten older, I get more emotional at movies. So I find myself actually tearing up a lot more in movies than ever. And so I did some of that yesterday again, because it just kind of ties it all up. So
got you. That's good to know. So, I will definitely make sure to try to check that out.
You have Amazon Prime?
You said what?
You have Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Top Gun is on there.
Okay.
For free.
That'll do it. We'll check it out some point this week.
Okay. All right. There you go. Enjoy. All right. We will catch up on Friday, and we'll get your thoughts on guys running around in shorts.
Yeah, we'll see. See if we have any big hot takes from a couple of days of practice.
All right, Cam. I appreciate you, man.
All right. See you, Big O. All right.
You got it, baby. There you go. Cameron Wolfe. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe. And of course, you can use KSDT CPAs for many, many, many reasons. For assurance, for tax, for advisory. Go to KSDTCPAs.com. That is